When I came along, only one or two people in my class had braces. Most everybody had pretty good teeth. And now, as we've added toxins after toxins after toxins, more and more kids have crowded teeth and decayed teeth. I mean, decay is rampant.
You're a dentist of many years' experience, aren't you?
Yes, this is my 37th year in dentistry.
When parents come to you with their children and dental problems, they're not expecting you to talk about their breathing.
No.
So how is it that you introduce this into the conversation?
Right. In the United States, decay in children under 6 is rampant. And parents, even parents are trying to do everything right. They're breastfeeding, they're doing organic foods, and they're trying to do everything they can for their kids. And there's, these are really hands-on parents. They're spending lots of time with their kids, lots of homeschooling even. And, they are frustrated because as hard as they work, their kids are still having decay. And when they come and bring their kids with the cavities, it's quite strange for me to talk about their breathing and their breathing patterns. But typically, all toxins have the same effect on the body. They all make us hyperventilate. And just across the board in America, we are breathing 3 and 4 and even 5 times more than we are supposed to, which affects our pH. The pH, everybody who's ever taken a chemistry course knows that pH controls chemical reactions. So pH is the basis of our biochemistry, and it is the biochemistry that gets upset. One person put it like the check engine light on your car. The check engine light is the decay in the mouth. The check engine light is the disease in the mouth. My take on this is that the decay in the mouth is the body's check engine light saying my physiology is off. The hormone system is out of balance, and here's the effect. I'm stealing the minerals out of my teeth to use the body because the body can live without teeth. And so here's my check engine light. So the parents are actually, quite relieved when they go, oh, well, that makes sense, because everybody knows our water, our air, our foods, all the pesticides, all the plastics. Our environment is just so toxic these days. When it is at its physiologic norm, when we breathe the normal amount, then our body is very efficient at detoxing. And even these little kids, they're very efficient at getting rid of those toxins. And the body, especially in little kids, they bounce back so fast.
So the parents accept what you say, and then you have to explain that the children must change their breathing pattern.
Right.
And how do you broach this subject?
Well, it's very easy. Martha Rowe and I do a webinar every month to just explain to parents how the physiology of the body affects their children. And not only do we talk about the decay, one of the other issues that's rampant in America, at least, is crowded teeth. And it's not the teeth that become crowded, it's the system that's out of balance. When you balance the system, the teeth will go straight without braces. In somebody with muscles that are overactive, or an incorrect swallowing pattern, or an incorrect breathing pattern, the teeth go in the path of least resistance. When we balance the breathing and we balance the muscles, when we balance these functions, then the form corrects itself. And that's what's so neat about what I do now at the end of my career. My ministry or my mission is to help kids get healthier. So parents find me either because their kids have decay and they want a natural approach to solving the problem, or their teeth are crowded and they just know they don't want braces. Maybe they had braces themselves, and after they got the braces off, the teeth crowded up again, and so that wasn't really a fix for them. So they want something different for their kids. And so that's really where my heart is now, is with these kids, and to get their system balanced. We get the breathing balance, and we get the swallowing and lip function, tongue function, cheek function balance. Then not only do they get straight teeth, but they get better health because they can discharge the diseases that they have.
So how do you get them to balance up their system?
We have a really simple system that we start with the Buteyko for Kids. So Martha and I teach a kids workshop every month. It's online, so that moms and kids are there together. Dads are there too. I don't mean to leave the dads out, but they're there online and in their home. And we just go through the exercises that show the parents and the kids how their body reacts when they begin to breathe more normally.
And what does breathing more normally mean?
Well, we all hyperventilate. In this country particularly, we're breathing too much. And there's no dispute that 3 to 4 liters a minute, less than a gallon a minute should be enough air for all of us to breathe. The average is that we're breathing 3 and 4, maybe even more times that every minute. So in that, breathing too much basically makes our biochemistry off, makes our pH off. pH gets really out of balance. So there are just some exercises that we do with the kids that create CO2, and then we show the parents how to help the kids conserve that CO2. It's amazing that the kids will, they just get so calm, and kids will say they're either more relaxed or happier, better energy. Just early on in the week, the parents will report many times before the workshop's over, halfway through even, that the kids are not sleeping as much, they're waking up, happier and earlier. One little girl told her mom reported that she said, "Oh, Mom, I'm awake this morning and the sun's not up yet." And that was new to her. One mom just this week said, "My son's been doing this for a month." And the soccer coach and the soccer coach's wife and then the other moms on the soccer team were like, "What are you doing with this kid? He's the fastest one out there, and he's never been that way before." And he had some little thing at school where they ran across the yard and he won, and he had never been the fastest runner before.
What fundamental thing do they have to do to change their breathing pattern?
Fundamental thing is you have to create more CO2 through muscle activity, and then you have to conserve that CO2 and not blow it out. We only want nasal breathing. The mouth is not made for breath to go through, in or out. So normal breathing is only through the nose, in and out through the nose. And basically, the chest is not supposed to rise up and down. The lungs are just a reservoir, actually, for CO2. Chest breathing, heaving, that's not good. That's not normal breathing. Normal breathing is a little belly breathing, or the diaphragm moves a little bit.
Do people find it difficult when you tell them that they can only breathe through their nose and out through their nose?
Yes, and the reason is that so many people have blocked noses. Kids go, "I can't breathe through my nose," which is why in my MyoSmile practice, where I use the MyoBrace functional orthodontics, I have now begun to start with the Learn Buteyko for kids in order to clear the airways so there's not a problem wearing the appliances, because they have to close their mouth with the appliances. So I have found that we're getting to this balanced system where the teeth are going straight, and the kids are getting feeling better. They're having better athletic and artistic performance. They're having better scholastic scores. Timed reading comprehension scores are going up, and we get better mood and better attitudes. And, just from the Buteyko research, Professor Buteyko's research, we know that immune system, hormone function, cell metabolism, and neurotransmitter function all is linearly related to increased CO2, and we see it in the kids.
How long does it take for the children to get used to nasal breathing?
The kids who have started, and the one particular boy whose mom is very eager to share her story, she wanted to do myofunctional orthodontics for her son to straighten his teeth that were really crowded, but she knew he couldn't breathe through his nose. So through the internet, we met. He did his Buteyko training first, and it took him about a month. We were not eager to put the appliance in the mouth until we were sure he could breathe through his nose. The next step was a little expander to expand the palate, and we waited another month for that, just to let him kind of get used to things a little bit more slowly. And he is a super kid, and he has done his exercises, and he's coming along very, very well. And so that's the story of the mom who knew she wanted MyoBrace, but she knew the blocked nose was a problem. And she actually kind of helped us see that doing things in this order, doing the Learn Buteyko for kids first, and then introducing the MyoBrace appliance, has really cut our treatment time down a tremendous amount, a third or even a half. We've got some kids that are just breezing through. And even the kids who started the MyoBrace first, who maybe haven't had such success, they're going back now to take the Learn Buteyko for kids, and they're picking up their pace, and their success is now, going really fast like the other kids who take it first.
This must have quite revolutionized your practice.
It has. It really has. Anytime you can make the treatment easier, more streamlined, less troublesome, I guess. Make the kids more eager to do it. Well, like the one little boy who's had such success on the soccer field. The mom says, oh, he does it on his own. I don't even have to remind him. He does his practice on his own. And kids want to be usually either better athletes or do better in school or better. We have kids who play instruments, and they have things they like to do and they want to excel. And then as they normalize their physiology, then they're less emotional and they think more logically, and they see the difference themselves. So they're much more self-motivated to do the practice themselves and to wear their Maya brace. And as they see their teeth change, they are motivated in that they want their face to develop right, and they want to develop room for their teeth. And that's the whole idea about myofunctional orthodontics, is not to just move the teeth where the teeth go together, but to develop the cheeks and the jaws and develop the face so there's room for the teeth that we have in our mouth. We have room for them.
What about the parents? Do they say to you, well, I must do this too, which would be a help to the children, obviously?
Oh, absolutely. And Mark and I have experimented, and the way we see that works the best is that the kids come on the workshop and the parents are there to help them. The parents are there to help them realize if they're chest breathing. Maybe they put a little pressure on the chest, or the parents are there for the little bitty ones to help them count their steps, or help direct them. And so as the parents begin to do the little exercises with the kids, then the parents will go, oh, I'm sleeping better, or, my mood is better, or my nose is better. And the parents can begin to realize improvements on their own, and they go, oh, hey, is there a class for adults? And yes, there are classes for adults. The adults are taught much differently than the little kids are. Little kids would just make it a game, and we just, keep score, and they just work on their numbers, and it's kind of a game for them, and it's really easy. And the parents of course, have had toxins longer, and they have usually more symptoms. So they need to have the personal coaching of the LearnButeykoOnline.net group. And it's very important to me that I wound up with the Classical Buteyko Method group. I think that's very important. And I stress that to my parents, that this is not something you want to do with a book or a tape. When you discharge disease, that can become a critical issue, and you need somebody who's treated thousands of people. And LearnButeykoOnline.net website just full of information of biochemistry and videos, testimonials, and I just was enamored with what I found. And of course, I've always thought that the body is miraculously and wonderfully made. And the more I learned, the more convinced that I am of that.